State your name and year.
My name is Jabari Green, freshman.
Okay. How do you think hair relates to cultural identity?
My opinion, hair relates to cultural identity. It's more of a characteristic, and each culture has their own textures and differences of hair. So,
Okay. Do you believe that Black America fears the fro?
based on personal experience, some it's more of a it's more of a view type of thing, a perspective. Some do, some don't. Depends on the culture that you was raised in. Like I said, I previously had a fro, and some people did perceive me as a fearful person because of the way they allowed my hairstyle to identify who I was and not really take a look at my personality.
Okay. So what does hair mean to you?
My opinion, hair is just it's not necessarily you, but it's what you make of it. It's more so like it adds to your character, to your outer look. It doesn't define your inner.
Okay, so you would see it as a compliment of your physical appearance then?
Yes.
Okay. Um, how would you define good hair?
Honestly, I'm not one to really say good or bad hair. I don't
Okay.
pay too much attention to it. If I see somebody with long hair, I think it's pretty.
Okay.
Short hair, it's different. But it depends on the person. It looks nice.
Okay. So does hair texture matter to you? Like
Not
in reference to what beauty is?
not generally.
Okay.
I mean, I've grown up in a very diverse culture, so it's not that big of a deal to me.
All right. So you wouldn't believe that hair defines who you are then, right?
No, because like I said, it's more so it adds to your outer look and your characteristics rather than the actual definition of your makeup of what your personality is. I mean, some people do allow hair and outer looks to make up their personality, which causes them to be miserable later on in life.
Okay. So how would you define yourself as an African American? What does being black mean to you?
Being black mainly is an accomplishment. I made it out of high school from the metropolitan Detroit area, and I'm trying to succeed, and live past the stereotypes set on me as an African American.
Okay.
Sometimes I purposely do things to grasp the attention and purposely develop a certain style that most people will perceive as negative, just to show that even the positive people can have a negative look, but that doesn't define them.
Okay. So what does the phrase cultural identity mean to you?
Cultural identity is more so to me about your ethnicity, your background. It's not necessarily. I mean, yes, it is a part of you,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not exactly you. Because there are some people who grew up. There's some African Americans who grew up in the suburban area who behave more of the Caucasian nature.
Like
Uh,
eurocentric America?
yes.
All right. Okay.
So cultural identity is more so how you grew up as well as what you are.
So do you feel like that the Detroit area would be more of, how do I say this, like black? Their behaviors, does that fit their identity, or is that just
Stereotypical, yes. I mean, there are, and it also, and it's not, it's more so has more to do with the upbringing of the
okay?
youth.
So would you say that that's more of just being a victim of your environment, or just being black?
More so a victim of not your environment necessarily, but the people who you're surrounded, who you choose to surround yourself around. Like I said, I'm from the Detroit area, but I don't behave as such all the time. Occasionally I do ignorant things, but that's not things I do all day, every day.
Okay. Do you feel your cultural identity leads to cultural responsibility? Like, do you feel like you have to make sure you don't um, end up doing any stereotypical
Honestly,
things?
I've come to a point in my life where I don't care what other people think because I know what type of person I am. I've tried to live past and show people what I'm not. Try to tell people and explain that I'm not the typical black male that the stereotype states.
Okay.
But people are going to believe what they want to believe. And the only thing that's going to change that is their thought process. So I'm not going to stress myself to please someone else.
Okay. That's cool. Was this interview hard?
No, it's just that I hate cameras.
Okay. Well, thank you, Jabari.
Yep.